No, I thought it was good. All right, let's get draped. Hey, welcome to my channel. It's over here now.
Oh, shit.
I had to switch it around for some reason. Sorry. Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm ELF, and look who I have with me today. Seafood boiler, Nicole Bonds.
So excited. And the crowd goes wild.
Yes, Nicole is a leader. She is a visionary in the Lord's church. She's an author, a preacher, a trailblazer, a singer, a prophet. She's all of those things. Yes. Many may know her as Apostle Bonds. So, we seafood boiling today with my friend.
It's so good to be with you.
Yes, we are 20 plus years in the game as friends, right?
Yes, we are.
Yes. So today we have lobster, we have king crab, shrimp, mussels, eggs, we have potatoes, and we have corn.
This is amazing.
And the Foot Up sauce. For the first time, she's gonna have it today.
Oh my God.
You know how we do. We ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna get right into it. Yes. So you have to try that Foot Up sauce.
It's so good.
Get down in there.
What should I do next? I don't think I want to say so. Let's see this.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So good.
When I tell you, you should have some.
Ooh, look at that.
I mean, you're a pro.
Yeah.
I'm not quite there yet. I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, this is the day.
I'm gonna get there. Let's do this.
So I have to tell you something about Nicole and how It Up, her encouraging me to do It Up.
Oh.
So I think I touched on it maybe when me and my daughter was on the channel together. But about 5 years ago, the Spirit of the Lord told me to start a YouTube channel. So I procrastinated. So 2018, we went on a ski trip.
So much fun.
Yes, for my birthday.
So much fun.
And she showed me how to use iMovies. It was an app I already had on my phone. Remember that?
I do.
I already had it on my phone, and I didn't even know how to use it. So she taught me how to use that. So a year later, my birthday, 2019, she invested in me by giving me a tripod.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So June of that year, last year, 2019, I went to my sister-in-law's wedding, and I recorded her wedding. She had no videographer or anything, not that she even designed one, but I recorded as a gift. So I recorded the whole wedding. I interviewed family members and all that. So,
Whoa.
yeah, with the iMovies, and I presented to them as a gift. So listen to this though. Fast forward September, October, I was like, you know what? I need to start my YouTube channel. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And I did. And so here we are. So she was the inspiration into sewing into my YouTube channel.
Aren't you?
Give it up for her.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. Like,
Yeah.
I know you guys have already been watching these videos, and they're addictive, aren't they? Just like this food.
Yeah. So I appreciate you for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it.
Staying on me. You gotta pursue. You gotta pursue. If the Lord told you, you gotta do it. You should do it. You should do it. So here I am. And I was skeptical about me doing it myself. But because, I wasn't really tech savvy. But
You made it happen.
I'm telling you, the Spirit of the Lord said, remember the video that you did? You already have the tools. Do it yourself. And that's what I did.
Ain't that a whole word? Do it yourself. This is so good.
That sauce though, God knows. So I made a new batch of sauce
You need
just
some
for
of this sauce
you.
in your life. You need some of this sauce in your life.
Alfred up seafood boil sauce. Yep.
So this is like my first time doing one of these, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been mukbanging for years, but I just didn't know it was mukbanging. You just didn't know.
Yeah. So
Food dance.
somebody told me that Virginia is known for eggs in their boils. Is that true?
Well, now I didn't grow up doing these boils,
Yeah.
so I don't really know that. But I will say that
Have you seen them in the boils?
yes,
Yeah.
that's like a really popular thing
Yeah.
that people do that. And it's a great. I guess it's a great addition
Yeah.
to it. Can you think back to the first time you had a seafood boil?
Well, actually, my family from Newport News, Virginia.
Oh yeah.
My aunt used to send us bushels of crab during
wow.
the summer. Yeah. And I had a cousin who I called my aunt. You remember her? Ann?
I do.
That lived in Lynchburg. Yeah.
I remember her.
She lived in Lynchburg.
She could cook?
Yeah. So she used to do boils all the time in the cast iron pots.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I don't recall egg being in it though.
Okay.
So, but I decided to do that because one of my friends was like, "Hey, have you tried egg in it?" I was like, "No, actually I haven't." And
Maybe try. It's a great addition to it. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This sauce is where's that? I don't know where to go next.
mushroom.
Now, I've never had a mussel before.
Never used to try it. Okay,
Okay.
let's do it together.
Is there a proper way to eat these?
Well, what I do is open,
Okay.
and then I scoop some sauce in there.
Okay.
And then what you have to pull it off with almost like your teeth.
Okay.
Okay?
Let's try it.
Cheers.
Okay. A plus for mussels. Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Another.
Interesting taste.
Pretty good. I love it.
Goodness. Very meaty.
Yeah, I know I'm sweating already, right? So good. So let's talk. What are you doing now?
Well,
So I hear or read about you authoring a book called
Yes.
Trailblazers.
yes, I
Yeah.
actually, this is my second book, and it is pretty amazing for to have an opportunity to write this. I wrote this book in 14 days.
Wow.
And it's called 7 Undeniable Signs of a Trailblazer. And it's one of those things where, and you'll see in the book, you'll see how your childhood determines a lot about, the opposition that you face as a child oftentimes is a precursor for the greatness that's really on your life. And so I go through and take you through 7 signs on how to know that you've been called to really, trailblazers aren't just people that lead, but you leave a path for people coming behind you. So that they don't have to work as hard. They do work hard, but they don't have to work as hard doing the exact same thing you do. And
Because the path is already laid.
The path is already laid. I mean, it's like, now hiking is not my thing, but I when I was studying it, I was studying how they would leave little markers on various trees to let you know, hey, this way, that way, what have you. And it's pretty amazing how much momentum you can have when someone goes before you. So I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the process of writing, and it's going to be a trilogy. I'm going to do some. Once you know that you're a trailblazer, we're going to go into some other things to help you really prepare yourself, because trailblazing is lonely. Because you're not on the path anybody else is on, so you can't really mimic them and copy them,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So even though the path has been laid for you, there's still a work that you're required to do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's still a responsibility that comes with it. And I'm really excited about it. I think, Dr. Miles Monroe said that once you turn 40, that it should be all about legacy. And so in case you're watching and you are at that age or close to it, it's important that you're setting something up for those coming behind you, whether you have natural children or not. You still want to prepare the next generation. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That's good. That's cool. And so it's a movement too, right?
It's a whole movement. Listen, I didn't realize that people were coming out of the woodwork. Like, hey, I'm out here on an island. I need some help. Could you help me? Nobody understands me. Because I've been through those stages. And I don't know if you watching, you may have been through those stages where it's like, I just want some guidance. And sometimes people don't want to help you. Well, part of the reason, some of them don't have the ability to, and we just want them to. That's another whole story.
Yeah.
But, I one of the things I love about it, and when you get a really good mentor, a mentor doesn't want you to mimic them. They give you tools to help you do what it is that you've been called to do. So, they're everywhere. Trailblazers are everywhere.
Yeah.
You're blazing in this food, by the way. Let's just be clear. And this sauce needs to be in somebody's shelf. Needs to be. That's what I say about it.
I'm good. What is corn?
That corn is good and sweet.
It's a Silver Queen corn. I grew up on this.
Come on, Silver Queen.
The farmers used to ride through our neighborhood when we were growing up with bushels, like a huge bag of corn.
Oh, wow. I love corn. Eating corn reminds me of my mother.
Yeah.
She used to love corn. Love it, love it, love it. And we would get it and shuck it ourselves. That's country living.
This was shuck too.
I know shuck when I see it.
Yeah.
So what are you working on?
Well, I have my restaurant. Focus on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
But I really have been inspired to write. Well, I've been writing a long time, and I think
You have.
Yeah, I think that we've talked about that. But I had gone on this. I used to go to London every December for a TED talk, and last year was the last year, was the finale actually. But but every time I went, it was almost like I was coming back with something new.
Wow.
So even the restaurant, the YouTube channel. So I got this notion or this in my spirit to write children's books.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, we could definitely use more of those.
Yeah, because and it's gonna be coming from a place of having kids to be inspired and teaching them tools.
Well, what inspired you to do this? I mean, I know that you're a father, but is that alone enough to inspire you to do this, or do you see a disparity where a lot of young people just don't have the right influences, and so you want to give them something to teach them some lessons? I mean, what would you say it is?
Well, I would say it speaks from a child's perspective.
Oh, okay.
But it's giving them tools tools to become who they are, not so much to be who our parents say we are to be, but providing them tools such as, I know when I grew up, for instance, when I grew up, I didn't have, I had parents, but I didn't have the necessary tools to become who I am. It was always trying to be an example of someone else, or someone telling me, directing me on who I should be, or who I'm called to be, and versus looking from within. And I think that is one of the things that I want to encourage kids.
I love that.
To do is to search within yourself to bring out who you really are.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the issues that I see as well. And I think one of the things I battled with for so long was like trying to pattern myself, or feel like I had to pattern myself after certain people.
Yeah.
And realizing it's okay to have your own path.
Yeah, but some of the times we pattern ourselves after the insecurities that people put on us.
Ooh,
That's
a mouthful.
Like our parents, a lot of times we emulate our parents.
We do.
We have attitudes like our parents. We sassy like our parents. We have our parents, through examples, put those insecurities on us. Yeah.
Not even realizing.
Not even realizing. So I want my daughter to be the best she can possibly be. I'm not trying to make her be someone else. I'm not trying to, when she wake up every day, I want her to be Zoe. I don't want her to be her dad. I'm full of my own stuff, So I'm also doing some writing calling the halted generation back to purpose. Because, if you don't know, there is a generation of people who have the foundation of the old, but not as loose as the new church. And what I mean by that is they have halted themselves because the mantle wasn't necessarily passed to them. Leaders died.
Why do you think, what is your take on the whole, leaders when they're getting older, and really passing that mantle while they still have breath in their body and the ability to guide and consult them, rather than waiting until they absolutely have to give it up?
Yeah, I think
what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think they should pass it before they get to the point where they can't see, they can't walk, or they're ill.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, once they get to the place where they don't have the capacity to pass it, it ends up being passed to the wrong person. It's passed out to a family member or someone who doesn't have the necessary tools, or the mantle shouldn't be passed to them. They don't have no oil, no relationship with God. They should have been on the financial board.
Or the usher board. No offense. We need God's gatekeepers as well.
Yeah.
But that's important. That's really good. Wow, I'm excited about this.
Well, this halted generation that I'm talking about is the generation that I think has somewhat decided that they were going to leave the church. Not God, but the institutional church. Because of what it has become. I'm talking about the halted generation that I'm speaking of, is that generation that believes in signs, miracles, and wonders. Yeah. Also believe in waiting their turn. And that's what has happened. That the turn has come, but it wasn't passed to them properly. So they're in a halted state. They're in a standstill, wanting to know what to do.
Interesting. Now, when you originally said it, my thoughts were, you mean a halted generation, like there's it's almost stuck and stagnant, even though there's nothing stuck and stagnant within them. It's the environment they're in. I was thinking you were talking about a halting. So do you think that there's also a dynamic where there are some who've been waiting, but they're also, and maybe that waiting has been to bring them down some notches? So, because sometimes they say, that sometimes the younger generations, it's like, we can do it better, move out of the way, we got this.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's not the generation that I'm speaking of.
Okay.
Or the attributes of that generation that I'm speaking of.
So is this an age group?
I would say it is.
Okay.
And I don't want to kind of put a number on it. It's almost like the church of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, it's the children
During that time.
of that time. It's the children. It's the children when Nathan Simmons and those prophets were on the scene at the time.
Yeah.
And so what has happened is though we have been at a place where, and I think I'm a haunted generation. I think I'm at a standstill.
Because we double team and tag teamed.
What?
Back in the day, casting out demons.
Yeah.
Baby,
Yeah.
we one on one side of the church, one on the other. Like,
Yeah.
come through here if you want to.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So this book, what are you hoping this book does for those that read it? Like, what do you want them to get from that book? Do you want them to get principles and insight on what to do? Is it an encouragement while they're in the process? What is it?
I think it's in the title. Calling the halted generation back to purpose.
Okay. Which could be inside the church, but it may not be. Or is it?
I will tell you this though, this generation I speak of has no problem with God.
Gotcha.
They have a problem with what the church has become. And when I say that, it's not from a place of malice. It's just that when we go to church, we go to church to hear a sound. That sound of oneness, that sound of deliverance. We want to see the healing take place. We've seen so many miracles. So many miracles.
So many.
And I think miracles are still happening.
Absolutely.
But I think there is a callback for that generation to come to calling them back to purpose.
Okay.
To fulfill what their God-given assignment is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're going to lead that pack. I love it.
We'll see.
Woo!
We'll see.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
We'll see. We'll see. So what would you say as a leader in the church? What would you say to the generation that is haunted?
Well, I'll say that from someone who is in that demographic as far as age, but who is actively working inside of it, because I think everybody has different mandates. I would say as a senior leader, I would say to every leader that feels that way, or every person that fits in that category that you talked about, we need you. Okay, we need your insight, we need your ideas, we need your strategy. You've had a chance to sort of come away from it, see what it's lacking, see what it needs. And so we need that. We need that insight. And there are those who are not going to push you away. And, because some people say, well, where you been? Where you been? But there are a lot of ministries and churches that are struggling right now. They're struggling to remain relevant. They're struggling to remain the answer and solution to the community. And so they need those minds of those who've been on the other side. Say, listen, let me tell you why people are not coming in here. Let me tell you why people are not. They're not longing for your Jesus. It's because of this, or longing for this experience is because of that. They need that. And there are those leaders that are willing to listen and to take, and come alongside and let's work this out. I can tell you that while I've been on the inside of it from since a little girl, I've had many transformations within it. So I feel like everybody has a different, like some people are pulled out of it and then to go back in it. But, for me, I'm a church girl. I grew up church. All things church, that's me. As I've gotten older, although I've never left the church, my mindset has shifted in so many ways, and the people that I reach are people that are like, I'm not really, like, if this don't work, I'm not going back to nobody else's church. So it's like, this is the last attempt. And so I'm in a different place right now where, the Lord says to me, he said, listen, I'm not calling you to the church. You are the church, but I'm not calling you to the church. So now everything about my ministry shifted, and I'm not so much looking for more pulpit ministry. I'm really looking for more platform and influence to be able to reach the masses. I think we're in such a battle right now. I want to be able to reach the those who are making decisions, the influencers. I believe my anointing is to get to those influencers who have. You may got a 10,000 people that you influence. I want to get to the influencers because it may not. God's doing so many things different, and it's not what it was doing 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think we need. I would say come back. We need you. We need your insight. We need your understand. We need that. There's an anointing on you that's not gone anywhere. And sometimes people think because you're not at church every week that's something that you're dormant. No, I know people who that's so small-minded to think that only those who are in church every week God's moving through. That's not true. I think that's just that's a place, but
that's big of you.
That's where I've been.
That's big of you.
That's where I've been.
People are having that conversation.
Oh well, this is. Let me tell you, this is where I am. This is probably one of those reasons why I'm almost like I don't really necessarily fit in. Like people know me, but I don't necessarily fit in with everybody's little group. I'm a person all things love. I think that love is the biggest weapon that we have is love, and it's not love with conditions. Because some people will love you until you shift and change.
Yeah.
But what happens if they don't change? Or can you be consistent? And that's where I'm at. I love it, and that's how I reach people, and that's how I reach people from every background. And I may never see them again, but I planted the seeds, and it's very rewarding. I feel like I'm doing what God has called me to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with love being our greatest weapon. I definitely agree with that.
Because otherwise, what's different about us? What's different?
That's also the drawing card.
What's going to be different? If we're not doing that, what's different?
We eat.
Eat back. Lord, forgive me.
Lord, I know what I'm doing. I know I'm eating. I know exactly what I'm doing. Well, I know not what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
I can't say that. I must say this is more than I would have imagined in every way.
That's good. You try lobster?
You didn't see me gnawing on that. I've been tearing that up. Look, here's the evidence. Do you have the evidence?
But I think also think what has happened is that the Hawk generation has left the church because of hurt too. And I think
you gotta address that.
And I think that most of them, all they need is I'm sorry.
And even if it's not by the ones who did it, because a lot of them they close their eyes on this side.
Because most people, they have. Yeah.
But go ahead. Wait for it.
But I think that, some of the people who have done the hurting, has left or died. But there still needs to be a part of that callback. No, we kind of use the church, say the church as a, when people say the church. But the church is made up of people. It's the people, and I think there is a misconception when we talk about the church hurt me, when we use that so loosely. The church did this, the church did that.
But it's
the people. Yeah, it makes up the church.
Yeah. It wasn't the building. It wasn't the building. The building was there every time I needed it to be. You weren't. It's definitely people. And I did a live, it's been some time back, on church hurt. And the reality is that yes, church, we are called out ones, but we're not perfect. And if you're looking for a perfect leader, they're not there. It's just not going to happen. But I believe that there are leaders that are humble, that are transparent, that are open, and say we're all working on our soul salvation. We're not acting like we're perfect. but we have an anointing to be able to bring people together. I know for me, one of my giftings is to help. I can look at any person, I can interact with any person, I can tell them what giftings they have. I can see the raw material. And what I think one of the biggest things for me as a leader has been hard is that just because I see the raw material doesn't mean it's going to manifest, because you have to take part in that. And I think part of that halted generation is also some of them are underdeveloped because they were supposed to get things and access to things they did not get. So you have all of this anointing, all these amazing things within them, and it's almost it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's like, what do I do with all this? Because the place that I want to be able to funnel it through is not even accepting me. You know, so it's definitely we're in a major shift. I'll tell you that. A major.
But you know, the halted generation too, they it's almost made to feel like when you leave the church. Can imagine pulling your arm out of socket. I'm talking about ripped. That's the feeling.
Wow.
Because it's as if you don't have the ability, or because the halted generation is we believe in waiting our turn. We sent. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you're sent. And so when you haven't been sent and you leave the church, it's almost as if
it's over.
Yeah.
No chance for promotion.
No chance for promotion. And so what the mantle, listen, the part of the mantle that you do have, you can't give it away.
Nope.
You know, you can't give it away.
It's like trying to give someone this seafood before it's cooked. I mean, it's a great thank you, but if I don't have the ability to prepare it, then it could be a blessing and a curse at the same time. There's nothing I can do with it. And the church is meant to be that place to help take what you have on the inside of you and to help you get it and help you. It's not designed to do everything, but it is designed to be there to undergird you with those giftings that you have and help you. So I'm excited about this book. Like I'm gonna be pushing you on that one.
Yeah.
We're so needed.
Yeah.
So needed.
Would you believe that the halted generation is not just the ones that left the church? Do you believe that they're still there?
Oh yes. Let me tell you something.
Church?
Oftentimes we hear the story about the prodigal son, and we talk about how he went out into riotous living and he was eating with the pigs, and then he finally came to himself, and he's like, hey, I might as well go back home. I can be a servant. We oftentimes talk about the prodigal son, but we don't talk about the son that was left. You want to talk about a bitter soul? That son that was left was bitter, because when that prodigal son came back, he was like, what about me? You killing a fatted calf, you giving him a robe and a ring. I've been here. so you got mad. Folks are been in church and mad, and I see it.
But they also waiting their turn too.
They're waiting their turn too. They're waiting their turn, and everybody's turn looks different. So and I think one of the things we've got to get over is that not everybody's been called to pulpit ministry. Right. Some people don't think if they don't mount that sacred desk, then I've not been called to something great. I'm telling you, some of us, our reach is just not the pulpit. The people we're meant to reach is maybe through social media, maybe through community activism. I mean, do you even know your platform?
Yeah.
And let me say this. Some of us have been rejected from a place because that's not where we were called. See, I was left in the church, but yet I know I'm not being called to it because I am it. So God uses everything about what I went through and my experiences to now help people who don't know anything about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
would that be considered a non-conventional church?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Totally non-conventional. I'll give you a prime example. I'm working on some things right now. I've been working on it for over 6 months, and I'm going to get this last bit of meat out of here, by the way. Don't worry, I'm a multitasker. But I'm working on some things now. In April, our ministry is going to, every fourth Sunday, our doors will be closed, and it'll be our day of caring. And we'll be outdoors. Every site that I have will be outdoors. And we'll be serving people every fourth Sunday, because the Church of Acts didn't just have church. They didn't just have foot stomping. They had all things in common. Well, how do I know I have all things in common? We don't talk.
Right.
You know? So it's definitely more to do than what some of us have been doing. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, because I remember growing up, we used to play at Souls. How many souls we gonna bring in? Yep. I mean, you know, people play money these days, but
I mean, like, hey,
yeah.
I got 50. And see, my mother was a master soul winner. She would win. She went for the young people, and it would bring the parents in. I think the dynamics have changed so much now. You got a lot of young people raising themselves, you know, and so many dynamics. And so we're having to do much more. I'll give you a prime example. You know, you have to be able to deal with mental illness and mental health if you're going to be, even as a leader. You know, because people have lots of things going on, and you can't over spiritualize everything.
So heavenly mind, you know, earthly good.
No earthly good. Because, you know, yeah. So, you know, we're in a major shift, and you know, I'm really hoping that maybe if those that are watching, that if you really say, you know what, I want to get back in the game, I really want to figure out what I can do to be most impactful, and I'm praying for them because they're so, you know, Scripture says that the harvest is great, but the laborers are few. It's like, pray for the Lord of the harvest, because there are so many people that need salvation, and we ain't got time to be caught up in the church games and politics. Like, we could be out here winning real souls. Like, stop regurgitating, stop having light shows and the same people at service every week. You know, something different. That's what he wants us to do. The Great Commission, the Great Commandment. So I could go on and on and on about that. I mean, he said, "I will make you fishermen of men."
So I'm gonna do my work. I've been writing on this for a long time. But yeah, I want to speak to those people, and I was thinking, you know, who do I give these thoughts to? And I'm like, well, listen, you called it. He gave it to you, so you do it. So I'm gonna write it, because I do believe that there is a group of people who really want to do. We ain't got no problem with God, you know,
and know God,
know Him.
Well, what do you think is going to happen after the book?
I think it's going to be. I think there needs to be a callback. I'm trying to figure out the ins and outs on that callback, though. But there has to be a callback, and the callback is the acknowledgement. And
you know what I hear?
What?
A total recall.
Total recall.
Because you know, like when a car is being recalled, oftentimes it's not something you did to the car. It was a malfunction that happened outside of that entity.
Manufacturer.
And although God doesn't make mistakes, oftentimes through the dysfunction of our own lives and family, born in sin, shaped in iniquity, those kinds of things, life happening to us, at times we need a recall. And you can ignore that recall if you want, but it can cause a lot of danger. And when you get that card in the mail that says, hey, there's been a recall on this part or whatever, it behooves you. And I love this because it doesn't cost you anything when there's a recall. All you got to do is bring it in. And so what I heard here is like a recall. Recall. The calling's there, but it's to do again. And it's like, okay, nope. I've not changed my mind concerning you. Nope. With all those things that happened, that's still a part of your story. I'm going to use that thing. See, the thing is, the reality is that God uses everything about us. He uses the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the Bible says that, and we know that all things work together for the good of them. So that love God who are the called according to His purpose. So all that stuff, that messy stuff, all that, you know, carnage.
You good.
He can use it. He can make your good gooder. And your bad better.
Right.
I know that's not proper English, but oh well.
It's all good.
This
good, right?
So hard to say goodbye.
Yeah, it's good. I love this food. I do. So I
believe this food loves me too. I feel a connection. And I feel a warmth.
Right. But yeah, I said I was going to just do these So what I'm doing is I'm cooking. I'm doing seafood boils. I'm doing some collaborations. When I say that, I'm collaborating with my daughter mostly.
Come on, so yes, she's a mastermind, by the way.
Right. But I wanna. I don't know. I don't know what this is going to become, and I'm not really into trying to figure it out. I'm just gonna let it manifest.
Just let it
itself.
organically grow
Yep.
into what. And I think one of the things that's awesome about it is although you're on social media, you're not a really huge, got a phone in your hand all the time on social media. But I think these opportunities give people a chance to hear from you, connect with you, and the people that are around you, and just having conversation, life conversation, wisdom being shared, laughing. Some of us just need to laugh. Bible says the laughter is like medicine. We need these opportunities. So I think I love the fact that you're more visible, and that we get an opportunity to hear from you more, even if it's the different sides of you, the laughing, the culinary side of you, what have you. I think it's awesome, and I'm pretty excited about it.
It's my turn.
Ow!
It's my turn. Yes. So I'm just gonna, continue to do this, see what happens. I'm not, I'm not looking for a big break.
But what happens if you get one? I mean, just what if Ellen sees this and she's like, "Hey, I've got to have him on my show."
Then I gotta be there.
You're gonna elf it up.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
I said ELF for all y'all deep folks. I said elf it up.
Yeah. Leave her alone. She on my show. And she my friend. And I got her back. Always have. What?
1996 winter. Who does that?
Right.
Who can that? 96 winter storm. Don't forget. No, I was
yes, I remember. I'm gonna leave it alone.
We digress.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it alone.
This has been awesome.
Yeah. So, thank you all for tuning in to Elf It Up. It's been good.
I need you guys to watch this. I need you to share this, because if I get enough views, he may invite me back. Would you guys like that?
Would you like to?
Maybe you should comment under this and let us know that you like that.
Yeah, please do that. I'll have her back if you say so.
Only if you say so.
Please like, subscribe, and share. Hit the
Awesome.
subscribe button and the bell so you can get all the notifications.
Don't be a private follower.
Yeah. Show yourself.
Be the first. Who knows?
All right.
What you should bring, you know what you should do is that, whoever really drums up the most support over your videos, you should invite one of your guests that subscribes.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe you'll get an invite to come and have all this goodness.
Yes, please.
Awesome.
The number one supporter, I'll invite you on. You heard it. All right?
Oh my God. I'm so glad.
We love you. We elfed it up. All right? Peace. That was cool.
That was good. And this was good. Oh my God. You know I've never had king crab before. Ever in my life.
Yeah?
Ever.
Never had king crab?
And that's why I love crab legs. And I hate them little ones, but I've never got the big ones.
Yeah.
I've seen them, but baby, today I've tried them.
I have some larger than these. They call colossal.
Child.
Somebody
Somebody going with me.
Somebody going with me.